Bronze Age artist Ken Landgraf here, and I'm going to be working on a drawing of the two novas, the female nova and the male nova. And I'll be bringing these around the comic shows to sell. Or if you're interested in it, this one's going to be 50 bucks. You can buy it from me. Just email me. Okay, I'm using my Pentel pocket brush here. I'm working on this helmet. I put Zipatone on here. I always like to work in Zipatone. It gives the drawing a unique look. And the way his costume works is he's got a lot of black on him. So I'm looking here, putting in brush strokes. And I dip it in water every once in a while just to keep the ink flowing. I'm working some black. I let some Zipatone here because it looks cool. So feather back into the Zipatone. And if you're interested in getting some of this Zipatone, you can always buy one of my books or drawings, and you'll have my email address. And I can send you over the email some of the Zipatones that you can print out yourself. They don't make this stuff anymore. I got this from Wally Wood back in the early days, in the 1970s. And I made photocopies of it, or printed them out on my printer, and then pasted them down with a glue stick. The tricky part about Nova is you got to get this sun effect on them. You got to be very careful when you're inking. And I'm going to work on Nova's arm here for a while. Looking here at him and work on his forearm. See how nice that ink's flowing? Because it's got water mixed with it. I don't want to get this too black because it doesn't look good. Wally Wood always said try to make something 50% black and white at the heaviest. Unless, of course, it's a super lighting effect. Looks nice and clean this way. Now I had a choice here. I could have filled this all in black, but it's not going to look good, so I'm going to just draw the shape here and then start rendering. See how nice and smooth that ink line goes down? Now look at his fist. And I'm using a stapler to weight this down so it can't move, since I'm filming it with one hand here. And I'll work in some rendering on the fingers. And I work in some shadows from the fingers. And I put all sorts of crazy zips on this too. And of course, you got to work them in. And for these large black areas, what I do is I keep a really lousy brush. This one's like pretty wrecked up. And I use it to fill in these large black areas. Okay, when you're doing this, you try to keep the shape here of the energy flow. So a shadow from that wristband. I worked a zip here on this too, see? Okay, so I'm looking at Nova. And he's going to have some black. There's quite a few of these Nova characters, by the way. There's that Sentinel, whatever it is, for Galactus. It's a female. Its name is Nova. Then I was watching Planet of the Apes last night, and of course there's the Nova in there. And there's the male famous Nova here, character. And then in What If, there's a female Nova. So cool that's looking. Be very careful getting that sun pattern knocked in. Again, I'm using the crummy brush here because I'm filling in black areas mostly. And I worked in a zip here too, underneath the female Nova. I'm gonna have to cut that right here. See, it's overextended. And I'm looking at the female Nova, and she has the same problems that the guy does here. You gotta work in some black. And I want to throw some shadows under her breast here to pop these out. Drawing these Nova characters reminds me when I drew Nightwing and Flamebird, they had these type of bursts on them. Flamebird did. The same kind of burst on his costume. And what I'm going to do here, she's got these wristbands, so I'll leave a space. And we want to ink on her hair now, so I'll go back to my brush, dip it in the water, and make sure the ink is flowing. Maybe dip it into ink also. And then I'll work on some of her hair. Yeah, I'm inking in the middle parts of the hair and kind of spinning it around here. I work on the other arm on Nova. So this is a nice drawing if you want to own it. It's 50 bucks, $7 postage. Just email me and it'll be yours. You're seeing it ink here, so that's going to be cool. You can say, wow, I can't ink this on YouTube, and here I own this drawing. It's like you're at a comic convention. I'm doing the drawing right here for you. And you're looking here, this is the top of this muscle, that's the side, and here's the front of the muscle, so I'll put a few lines there. And I'm going to throw a shadow from his costume onto his arm to create depth. I'm going to work on his hand now too. And work on our breasts here a little bit. Now that I got this drawn in, what I'll do is, here's the middle part of her breast, right? So I'm going to strike one line there and then work my way so it goes towards that. Get it to look round. So there you have it. The two Novas in action, the male Nova and the female Nova. So if you want to buy this, please contact me. Also subscribe to my channel so I can do more of these videos. Thank you. Ken Landgraf signing off.